All right, everybody, welcome back. Welcome to episode 18 of our Tassi Farms Dairy Empire gameplay series. I'm the Ultra Farmer here, and we are headed back. If you were with us from last episode, we've got a grass field that needs some rolling. So I'm just heading over to this. It's a pretty big grass field, actually, that we got to roll. I planted it at the end of last episode, got it all kind of finished and cleaned up, and now I need to roll it. And yeah, it's going to be a bit. It's going to take a bit of time to roll this one. This is a bit of a bigger field, and we only got so big of rollers. Now let me just jump out. Yeah, it needs rolling, and it also says weed is growing. It says herbicide. Now I'm not too sure if I'm going to be able to just deal with that with our hoeing unit or with a hoeing unit after. I'm hoping that's what I can do. I'm not too sure. I've never honestly had weeds growing on a grass field before. I don't think. I'm not too sure, to be honest, but let's drop these. Oh. Yeah, we'll drop this down and let's get rolling here. Okay, let me just see. I'm just gonna hop up for 1 second here. Okay. It's weird, it takes it away. It says weeds in some spot, and then other spots it doesn't. So I'm not too sure. Not too sure about that. We'll just have to kind of see how it goes. Once I get everything all completed on this field, then we'll go from there. But what do we got on the docket for today? So the main thing we got to do today is we're going to roll this field, which is going to take a little bit of time, but it's not going to be the end of the world. It'll go pretty quick. These rollers actually, like, they go at 12 miles an hour, so that's not too bad. And then what we're going to have to do is, once this field is done rolled, I'm going to sleep through into November. And that's going to give our other grass fields its second stage of kind of ready to harvest growth. And so then we'll be able to cut and bale those fields. So we're going to have to cut, ted, and windrow and bale those fields. Now we've got a new baler that I'm excited to try out and excited to show you guys, which is going to be, it's a really wicked baler. Yeah, you'll see we're gonna be able to just continuously bale, round bale, and we can do some pretty large bales as well, which will just kind of help with picking stuff up and also feeding the animals. It'll be nice to throw some like relatively large round bales in there that'll feed the animals pretty good. Another thing, I think we have 25 new calves that were just born. I'm pretty sure it was 25. We'll double check after when we kind of go back and start doing our rounds, our chores of feeding the animals, getting the milk into the production facility. And I'm also going to fill the hay loft. So we won't bale absolutely everything. There's going to be parts of the field that we just pick up with the forage wagon. And I drop that into the hay loft. I think the hay loft's got about 150,000 liters in there, I think. Is that what it is? It's something like that. It's got quite a bit in there. So we'll have to put roughly 100,000 liters in, and then yeah, and then the rest will just go to bales. I'm thinking we'll do bales on our large field that we've got kind of on the south side of our farm, and then we'll probably do most of the hayloft forage wagon stuff on the small field that's just kind of on the south side of the field we're on right now. This is the furthest north kind of part of the map that we can get to. This is going to be a massive field. I can't wait to cut and bale this one in the spring, which I'm pretty sure in the spring we're going to cut and bale this and do it all in silage. All that silage that we get and we sell is going to go to funding more dairy cows. That pasture will hold about 400, so I would like to get to that point where we're getting, close to 400 in there. It's obviously not going to happen all at once, but I'd like to get like another 50 or 60. We're at 190 right now, so I'd like to be around that 250 to 275 range, and then at that point we're going to be producing so much milk that we're going to need 2 production facilities, which this winter, kind of forecasting a little bit more. What we're going to do this winter is rent a wood chipper and clear out some more area kind of around the farm to support another production facility, and also probably another production facility in the future. So that's it. That's me rambling on, yada yada yada. But that's going to be the rough plan over the next kind of like month and sort of year of the farm. Is just going to be, we're going to try and use silage to fund us as much as we can and just keep going nuts with dairy cows. I really want to, before we finish this series, we're definitely going to have that 464 pen maxed out, and just giving her, that's my goal, to get that maxed out and to be whatever that produces for milk each month. I want production facilities to be able to like support that. And once we get to that point in the farm, then maybe we'll consider the empire, the empire finished. Just Tokyo drifted that around there. Did you see that? Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is, I think after I just yapped a lot there, and you already know what's going on, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm probably gonna time lapse us getting the rest of this field done. Yeah, I'm thinking I'm gonna time lapse that, and then what I will probably do, just so it's like known, at the end of that time lapse, what I'm gonna do is I'll just go kind of put. Sorry, what I'm just. Oh, God, I hope I have enough fuel to finish this. I should. If you see me halfway through the time lapse, I have to go get fuel, then don't make fun of me. But I just noticed that now. We got like half a tank of fuel. Hopefully, it's enough to finish this field. But yes, at the end of that time lapse, when it finishes, I'm just going to park this set of rollers. I'll fuel the tractor up if it hasn't run out of fuel. And then I'm going to sleep through into December. So after the time lapse, when I bring you back after that, we'll be in December. Sorry, into November, not December. And we'll start cutting and baling some hay. So yeah, let's do a little bit of a time lapse. Okay, we are back here. We're back in the New York groove, really. What do we got going on here? So I did what I said. We got that field rolled, and I slept through into November, and I got one of our workers going right now, as you can see, cutting the grass in this field. Now, well, I came up to check on our field, that we planted and rolled, and we've got some weeds growing on this. Weeds that we got to deal with. It doesn't say it right there, but as I move around, kind of hit all these weird spots. Weeds. It says weed small herbicide. So I'm gonna have to rent a herbicide sprayer, some sort of a chemical sprayer to deal with these weeds. I won't be able to deal with it with like a hoeing unit or anything. I kind of wanted to go buy one of those hoeing units, but I'm not going to be able to deal with those weeds in that manner. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm just going to rip down to the store and I'm going to get like a little backpack sprayer type deal thing to go in the back of this tractor, fill it up with herbicide, and come back here and I'm going to get someone going on that field. So what I think I'm going to do just to kind of, I didn't really know we'd have to be dealing with that. I kind of thought when I rolled that field, it kind of made the weeds go away because I honestly have never really dealt with weeds on a grass field before. I don't know why I just pulled through there. But what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to just rip down, I'll rip down, deal with this kind of weed situation real quick just so it's done with. And then I'll bring you guys back once I got that field, the weeds and stuff sprayed on it. I'll return that backpack sprayer, the little rear one, and then we'll hook onto the tedders and we'll ted that field and windrow it and get baling. But I'm just gonna kind of I'll deal with this chore kind of just like behind the scenes real quick, get it done with, and then we can kind of just continue on baling and doing what we got to do. Okay, I got that field sprayed. That was like a bit more of an adventure than I kind of like thought it was gonna be, to be honest. I don't know why it was such a pain. It was yeah, I don't know. For something I thought I would just do kind of quick to get done for us so we could get back to the show. It ended up being a lot more. Yeah, whatever. Not gonna complain. What I'm gonna do is hopefully try and hook onto these tedders. Yep, just did. We're gonna head over. Now, I brought the other tractor. The other tractor is actually just sitting at the front of the other field, which I'm gonna just hit the old unfold button on this. Tab over, not to the forklift, to this guy, and we're gonna get someone started doing that. We got fuel, we got fuel. Give me fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire. Yeah, Talica? No? Okay, okay. Let's drop this down. All right, let's get to work here. Like I was over just like messing around with that field and felt like I wasn't. Just wanted to cut and bale. I just wanted to get that new baler going. You know what I'm saying? But let's ted this field. We'll ted this field at, hopefully by the time I'm done tedding this field, the other field should be pretty close to being done. Should be pretty close. I'm thinking I'll go grab the mowing unit after, park it away, and then probably hook that other tractor to the baler. Or no, sorry, I'll hook that other tractor to the windrowers, and then we'll get windrow in these fields. But I'm pretty excited. I'm pretty excited to use that new baler. That's for sure. Pretty excited. I don't know what size of bales we should make. I mean, I guess we could just make the biggest bales that it'll make, but yeah, we could just do that. I think we will. I think we will. We'll make some max size bales. Um, yeah, that's what we'll do because as we go forward and we get more cattle, we're gonna have to be just putting the biggest bales that we can into that barn so they don't run out of food. I think is gonna be the plan. So we'll make 185 centimeter bales, which they'll probably be like, I don't know, like 30,000 liters of hay per bale. It'll be something crazy like that. So like one bale essentially will be able to fill the, don't quote me on 30,000, I don't know exactly, but I bet you one bale will essentially like fill that cow barn, which is kind of crazy to think, to be honest. But yeah, that'll be kind of the plan. And then like next spring when we get our first cut off of that big field that I just kind of dealt with, we'll definitely do that field in silage. We probably will be able to do a full silage cut and then yeah, we'll do a full silage cut because that way it'll give it ample time to ferment Oh, wrong one. Get hooked onto that one. There we go. Yeah, that'll give it ample time for it to ferment. Because we're going to have to go, I think, in January and go haul off all of our silage bales. That's something we'll be doing kind of like, not next. Our main focus is going to be getting these fields obviously cut and baled and all that jazz. But January will have to be, I think it's January is the best time to sell it. December and January. We'll go sell off all those silage bales and hopefully get another kind of good flush of cash. Buy some more cattle and we definitely got to rent the wood chipper again and clear out some more land, which again will make some decent cash from that as well. Pretty decent cash. But yeah, oh, it almost, now that we got this other field too, now that we got this other field, slowly I'm going to be watching the stores to try and get obviously more equipment, right? Like these little tedders are great and they work pretty good for these two fields that we have, but ideally if we could have a bigger set, it would kind of aid in getting some of that, you know, especially that big field. It would aid in getting that big field done. A bigger set of windrowers could be beneficial, but yeah, I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna go too crazy out of my way to get that stuff because I just want to spend all the money that we make now basically on cattle and more production facilities. That's kind of the only thing I want us to spend money on. But you know me, there'll be a good tractor that comes in the stores and then I'll start telling you stories about how, you know, we could just use this tractor and yeah, that's probably what'll happen. Okay. All right, I'm going to keep going here. I'm going to keep going, get this field finished off, and then we'll head over to that other field, kind of get the mower and stuff situated. And we'll just keep plugging away. Just keep plugging away with getting these fields tedded, windrowed, and ready to try out that new baler. Jeez, I cannot wait to try out the new baler. Can't wait. All right. Yeah, I think what I'll do here is probably just do another little time lapse of me kind of doing some field work. And yeah, I'll bring you guys back in one sec. All right, folks. It is now. It is now. It is time. 0 hour is finally upon us. We've got the new baler. Hitting a couple bumps here to break it in. No big deal. Try and hit a bump here. Yeah, got a couple more. The field is windrowed. We tedded. We tedded a lot of that. A lot of those fields on. I was just looking. I was right here. These tedders are 44 grand. I think we might get them. Not like right now or anything, but I think in the future, that's not too crazy amount of cash to spend on a little bigger set of tedders. Windrowers, I don't know. The windrowers are pretty expensive. It'd be nice to find, these guys or, yeah, basically these ones because they're quite large. It'd be nice to find them not at 90 grand, but yeah, even the mod ones I have, well, these ones are pretty cool, but they're not that big. These would be cool. Maybe in a different gameplay series, but yada yada yada. It is time to bail. It is finally time to bail. So what I kind of wanted to do here, I just don't know. Let me open this. So I got our automatic bail turned on. Obviously, this baler we can do 185 centimeter bales if you look to the top left hand corner. It's set on 185. Now that's going to be a pretty unrealistic bale. Like, I'm not going to lie. Like, that thing's probably going to have like 30,000, yeah, 35,000 liters. So what I wanted to do here is just kind of test a couple different bale sizes and just see with this baler, like, I just want to see what a 150 bale, like what size it is, you know what I'm saying? It should be around that 9,000 liter mark, but I just want to see if for some reason with this baler, if it's different. I'm thinking it's not going to be. No, I don't think it will be much different. Maybe 9,500. Okay, but this is what I'm talking about. This is the best part of this baler. You're going to watch. The bale's going to pop out, and you're just going to be able to keep on keeping on. Life's a garden. You dig it. Pops out and you can just keep going. So let's drop that guy off. Let's hop out. 9,500 liters. Okay, I'm just gonna set. I'm gonna set one to 180. Just see what a 180 centimeter bale gets us. Now 180 centimeters. I know 183 is 6 feet tall. I know that because that's how tall I am. So 180 would be like a 6-foot bale. That's probably what they call it. Because I don't want to have it like super unrealistic, It's a 13,000 liter bale. I think that's pretty good. I think that's what we'll just roll with. Wonder if it'll let me change it on to 185. Let's see what a 185 is. Look how fast this thing goes. Look how fast it goes. And you just go. It's just haze just going into the abyss. Okay, so that was a... Yeah, that was a 13,000 one. Because it's not going to let you... It won't let you... Like, so I kind of swapped a bale mid-bale, you know what I'm saying? I'm just going to pick up the intake there. Okay, let's drop that down. This baler is going to be clutch, absolutely clutch in that big field. Can't wait. I can't wait. Now, I got a worker on our other field, windrowing the other big field, and I know I'm gonna end up just using the forage wagon probably on this field, but I just couldn't help myself. I had to come out here and we had to test it out. Okay, yeah, see, like, if you're looking at the bottom right-hand corner, we're at 40%, and there's already 20,000 liters in this bale. I'm thinking we'll probably just stick with 180s, right? Because, like I said, like, this baler's already kind of unrealistic. Like, I don't even think, are there balers like this in real life that have dual chambers? That's probably a stupid question. That's probably a stupid question. Is it though? Like, I don't know. Like I don't know. I'm not no Balin expert. If there's any people in the chat that actually, or in the comment section that actually have baled, like, is this even a thing where there's like a dual chamber baler that you could actually just continuously round bale like the way you can with square balers? Is that a thing? I can't imagine that actually being a thing. Huh. But it's like, yeah, so it's already kind of unrealistic. I don't want to be making bales that are like, look at this. It's already going to be at 30,000 liters. Yeah, this is a pretty unrealistic bale. This would be feeding animals for a hot minute. A hot minute. Like, if you think for context, like, what is the hayloft itself? The whole hayloft holds 250,000 liters. So like this bale's at 42,000 liters right now. Yeah, I think we'll just stick with 180s. We'll just stick with 180s. Plus, I kind of like the look of a field when it's got a whole bunch of bales on it. Like, if we would bale this field and there'd be like 2 bales out there. Just gonna make sure we get it rated 100%. Going slow, no whammies. Okay. Yeah, that is a 50,000 liter hay bale. Okay, so I'm gonna switch this. We'll just keep it on 180s. We'll keep it, yeah, we'll keep that on 180s. Now, I'm gonna have to clean these bales off here. Uh, actually, you know what? Whatever, it doesn't matter. We're already out here baling. Let's just keep baling this field. I was just gonna say maybe I'll just do the rest of this small field. I swear I hit the button to drop that. Do this small field with the forage wagon, but I can use the forage wagon to start that other field. Let's just keep baling. We finally got our new baler. We might as well use it. Oh yeah. Fancy. Fancy here at Tassi Farms. Super fancy. Now one thing, too, I was like looking through the prices of... I was just like going through, like, checking, like, oh yeah, what are silage prices and stuff while while this field was being windrowed. I was just kind of messing around looking at tethers and stuff, and like, I definitely screwed up. We should not have started a dairy farm on this map. We should have been doing peat. Absolutely insane. Like, these peat fields. You know, I'll just show you. I'll just show you real quick. You know how much peat goes for per 1,000 liter on this map? Just take a guess. Just take a guess. Let's just go look at green beans. You know, they're 1,300 bucks. Let's go take a look at rice. 2,100 bucks. Yeah, that's not too bad. Some spinach, 400 bucks. Not really what we'd be looking for, but not too bad. Sunflowers, we're kind of at the bottom here at 885, but the top would be around 1,500 bucks. Peat is 36,000 per 1,000 liters. Per 1,000 liters. Isn't that insane? Insane. So we could have been way richer, way faster. 36,000 per 1,000 liters. That's crazy. Those peat fields are huge. Although I don't know too much about doing peat. There's peat and then there's dry peat. And so in those peat fields, I'll tell you what I do know about it. Okay, pretty sure. Just want to check. Okay, yeah. 13,000. We'll just stick with those. It's not super realistic, but it's a little, yeah, whatever. So yeah, the peat fields, what do I know about peat? I don't really know how the fields regenerate or anything like that, but you basically kind of do it like, almost like grass, like, if you will. Or almost like, yeah, almost like grass. There's there's an implement that you run over the peat field. I think it's a peat field. I don't really know, or a peat bog. It might be called a peat bog. And what it does is it like turns up the top part of the soil. It almost like turns it, like, so if you were to cut this grass, and then you can windrow it and you can pick it up with something like almost kind of like a forage harvester or a forage wagon. It's a weird looking piece of equipment. And then you can take that peat off and you can sell it. And that's just straight up peat. Then there's like one extra step where you would, cut the field, if you will, where you like run across the bog with the unit that kind of stirs up the top part of the soil. Then you can like ted it, and it dries it out, and then that's how you get dry peat. But that's like about as far as I know of it. I don't really know where peat comes from. I think it's like some sort of organic matter that like, you know what? If I say any more, I'm really just talking out of my butt. So I'm just not gonna. Okay, what I'm gonna do. Kind of screwed up a little bit on. Well, I didn't screw up, but it's gonna be a little bit weird picking those bales off because there's a couple that are different sizes. So I'm going to let's come over here real quick and I'm gonna drop the baler off just for 1 second. This thing is awesome. We'll park it right in the way so then we don't forget about it. I'll have to use the bale spikes at one time, but the John Deere tractor is over windrow. And actually, let's go take a look at this, see how we're doing. Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad at all. Forklift. Okay, I just want to grab the bale trailer. I'm going to go scoop up whatever bales we can. And then I'll just use the bale fork, I think, to go grab the last of them. And I might even just throw it straight in the cow barn, like that 50,000 liter bale. I might just toss it right in the barn and just... That's what they can munch on throughout the winter. Okay, first off real quick here. A little auto loading payment. I think that's fair. I'm still sticking with the fact that I think that that's fair. Pay a little bit. Okay, we got to make sure because that'll be a 150, and then those ones up there are going to be 185. So let's turn this guy on. Okay. I hit the button and it didn't button, so I thought maybe something jammed out for a second, but... Yeah, a bigger set of tedders and windrowers would be nice, because that field's going to take a second to do. What's this one? Yeah, that's the wrong size, no big deal. It might give me that warning on one of these, the one on the right. Oh, I'm completely wrong. That's weird. It's weird that it would pick all these up. Okay. It's probably... I don't know. I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure why that just happened. Usually that wouldn't happen. It wouldn't let me pick up the 185s along with the 180s, so... Alright, let's drop these off. Okay. I think what I'll do too is let's take this bale trailer right over. We'll park it on the side of the field, somewhat out of the way. And then I think what we could do is just grab the forage wagon and I'll start filling the hay loft. Yeah, let's park this right there. Looks good. Whew. We got a lot of hay out there. Alright, let's grab the forage wagon real quick here. I'll grab the forage wagon, and I'll head out there, and I'll start loading up. We'll bring a bunch of loads back to fill up this hay loft. Actually, let's just jump out here. 135,000 liters. Okay, so we need 115,000 liters. I think this trailer holds 32. Is it 32 or 33,000? 35? Something like that. So we need like... Oh, yeah, that's right. I left some in here. That's right. That's right. I was too lazy to dump it that one time, remember? Yeah, you remember. Okay. So that was 24,000 liters in there. And so we were at 139. So what's that, 159? Yes, we need roughly 90,000 liters. So probably about 3 full of these containers, because this should be roughly 30. Yeah, there we go. Okay. All right, what I think I'm gonna do is I'll keep going here. I'll get the hayloft filled, and then once we're back, we'll keep baling. I'll bring you guys back, and then we'll do some baling. By that point, once I get the hayloft filled, the guy will be done doing the windrows, and yeah, we can get the sweet new baler back, and we'll keep going on this field. All right, we're back here. We got the old lizard baler, and I'm gonna try and pick up this little bit right there, actually. We're back on the field. It looks like that tractor is done windrowing. Actually, let's tab over to this guy real quick. Let's just go. Let's just head over and park this, get it out of the way, because we're gonna be bailing up a storm, and we don't want anything in our way. You know what I mean? We're just gonna be skinny pedal down, and that's about it. Okay, so let's just think about what we got to do for the rest of today's episode. Obviously I want to get this field baled, and I still want to go do that plowing contract, which I'll probably just go start that plowing contract towards the end of the episode. Like, I'm not going to time lapse it or go do anything like that, to be honest, because yeah, I'm just not going to do anything like that. But I want to. We gotta go pick up that other bale that's stuck out on that field, which is pretty easy to do. I'm gonna leave these right there so that I can pressure wash them before we put them away. But as I'm talking right now, let me just take a look here real quick. We got some harvesting contracts. Honestly, I just don't feel like doing them. This one's pretty easy because it's like set it and forget it, to be honest. And this field's not that far from the house. Okay, here's actually what I'm gonna do. What I think I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go swap these tractors out real quick. Put this John Deere on the baler, and then I'll go hook the Dude's Far's got a little bit more gigawatts to the PTO. You know what I'm saying? So let's just drop this off because I'll probably. I think what I'm gonna do, just real quick, as I'm sitting here planning it out in front of you guys, I'm gonna just throw the plow on this. Let's grab this contract. Accept contract. Yep. Avoid hitting the broken down cars. I'm gonna go grab the plow. I think I'm just gonna go start this contract. I'll go get a worker started on that with this plow, and then we'll come back and then we'll start baling. That way, at least I got a tractor going on something while we're baling, and I don't need this Dude's Far tractor for anything other than it can just plow. We can use the John Deere for the rest of everything. So yeah, give me 1 sec. I'll go get this plowing contract started on the field, and then once we're back, we'll bail up a storm. Okay, I got the Dude's Far tractor out on that field. Let's chill in the cab for a little bit here. I just wish it was a little quieter in the cab. But let's do some baling. Oh yeah, this thing is a monster. Make sure we're straight on this windrow here. Like, what's that jug? Oh, that must be silage additive. I see. Tractor's not too dirty in here, not too bad. Pretty realistic, except there's no coffee in the cup holder. I find that suspicious. Okay, baling up a storm. Not bad. I'm so glad we got this new baler. We're just able to bale so much quicker. That's why I don't mind that we do a little bit. We don't gotta do the max size bales. Like, we don't gotta be making 50,000 liter bales. Like, look how fast we're doing this field. It's just gonna be so much better, especially with that really big field that we're gonna have to deal with. Which, I'm hoping, I'm hoping we can get a good decent amount of silage bales off that field, which we definitely should be able to. We should be able to get a pretty good amount of silage bales. I kind of, I'm always just kind of planning little stuff. Like, I kind of want to get that field, the one that's like right behind us right now, that field, and do some grain in it. And the reason for that is, like, we could sell the grain off. That's not really that big of a deal. I would like to get the straw from it so that we could put a manure heap by our cow pasture, and then we would have manure to spread on the fields as well, which I think could be could be beneficial. I like, like we obviously have a bunch of slurry that we can spread, but it would be good to have manure as well. Now that we got that really big field, it would kind of be because I don't like I like to keep trying to do it where we don't use a chemical fertilizer if we can help it. You know, I like that idea of like a little bit more of a regenerative farm where you take care of the pasture and the grass fields with the manure and the waste from the animals, and it's just a little bit more organic and kind of a natural process. I like the idea of that. So that's kind of just something I had in the back of my mind, because we do have the combine now that we got at a good deal. The farmland is relatively cheap. I could just put one of these fields that we do. I guess we could do that. We could always plow this field and or cultivate this one that we're on right now and put this to some sort of a grain field. Yeah, maybe we could do that because we're gonna have a lot of grass and we're gonna have so much hay that we don't even really know what to do with. The hayloft is completely full. Plus, we've already got so many bales. Maybe we could do that. Yeah, I'll kind of think about it. Yeah, rather than buying more land. Yeah, maybe that's what we should do is just I'll just cultivate this field. It's November. Oh, you can't plant nothing. Can I plant wheat? Nope. Nope. You can only plant wheat in October. That doesn't matter though. That doesn't matter. We could always just plan it out and yeah, maybe do that next season. Yeah, I'm not too sure. Just kind of things that I ponder as we're going and I see equipment that we got sitting there. The only other thing with grain is like we can't feed the animals grain. They're all grass fed and finished animals. Unless we got pigs or something. I don't know. Just thinking out loud right now. Like we could get pigs and just have a small pen kind of in the corner, but I don't want to spend it. Like you get a small pig pen, it's still gonna cost a bunch of money. The only thing I want to spend money on is cattle and dairy production facilities just to keep plugging it away because we already got 190 cattle in that barn and I went just while their windrowing was happening and stuff. I went and I pulled the milk and put it into the production facility, and we had 13,500 liters of milk that had to go in. So like, we're gonna be once we get over that 200 mark of the head of cattle, we're gonna be starting to bottleneck that production facility, and we're gonna need another one and maybe even another one to really just keep producing so much cheese. Yeah, so that's my thinking. All right, I'm gonna keep going here. I'm gonna get this field done. I'll bring you guys back in a little bit once the baling's kind of completed and it's a little bit further along on plowing that field and getting that contract done. All right, we are back in action here. I got the last of the bales pulled off the field, and I just parked our bale trailer. Let's go hop over real quick. Let's check on this guy. He's getting pretty close to being done this field. Just working on headlands now. Looks like he's almost finished the first full rotation of headlands, and then he's got one more to do after that, so not too bad. What I was gonna do here is I'm gonna hook onto our slurry spreader. Actually, yeah, well, I'm gonna hook onto this, and then I'm just gonna go. I kind of thought my one field needed some rolling. I can't really remember. We're gonna go to just do a little bit of laps and just see what we got going on right now. But I want to fertilize these fields, get some fertilizer on them now for the winter so it can sit. I just want to check these fields real quick. Whoa! I definitely thought I could snake around that tree. Tree better watch it. I got a chainsaw in the pocket and I'm not afraid. Okay, yeah, we don't need to do anything with this. I thought maybe I needed to plow or something one of these fields, but yeah, I'm just gonna set a worker to start doing this and kind of getting this field, prepped and ready to go. Prepped and ready to go for the winter. And then next episode, what we'll be doing is next episode we're definitely gonna be renting a wood chipper. We already got a trailer. But we're going to rent a wood chipper, and we're going to clear out some more land around the farm. I want to, let's go into this mode real quick here. So I want to clear out a bunch of these trees, all these trees right here, and have this whole kind of pathway to the backside of this field cleared out, so we can keep going with production facilities along this edge here, and then really whatever else we want to do here. So I want to clear out these trees here. I might leave a couple of these in just because, you know, why not? And I might just kind of come through and clear out a few more of these, or maybe some around here just while we got it, just to kind of make it a bit easier to get in and out of the hayloft. But that's not really that big of a deal. The main thing will be getting these ones cut down and cleared out of there. Probably this one, this one, this one, this one, and this small one. Maybe a couple along the edge just for good luck, you know, since we got the we're gonna have the wood chipper here. But that'll be kind of the plan for next episode. Get a little bit of extra cash out of that. I'm gonna just finish fertilizing these fields. I'll kind of just do that off camera, and because we don't really need to sit and watch that. I don't think I'll do any more contracts once this one's finished. There's not really anything else I want to go do. Like I said, I'm not gonna go harvest or do anything. I just don't feel like messing with it right now. I mean, I could do that one. I don't know. I don't really feel like messing around or doing any harvesting. I just kind of want to focus on our farm and do our stuff. I fed the animals. I threw that extra bale that we had, that was kind of left on that first field we baled. I threw that in the barn, so we're stocked for hay. And also, let's go into this silage. We got a bunch of silage that we got to sell. It's telling me March. Is that true, man? I thought silage we always sold in December. Crazy. There's the peat, the farm that we should have done. Yeah, maybe in a different time we'll do peat. Where is, so you can also come through and check. Oh, I'm surprised they don't have dry peat on this map. Peat dry, sorry, it's called peat dry, so it's a little bit less. Yeah. Okay, silage. I went past it twice, didn't I? Yep. Yeah, it's telling me, oh, I guess March is technically the peak. We'll see if it's close. It's 217 right now. It's at 211. I think I'm just gonna go sell it off next episode. Either that or January, one of the two. Wood chipping will be good in December. Maybe we'll do the silage in January. Not really sure. But, you know, we might be able to get both of it done next episode. Although wood chipping does take a little bit of time. But, yeah, so that's kind of going to be the plan for next episode. And then we'll keep going. We're going to get some more cattle and keep going to town. All right, so I think I'll end this episode here. Thanks again so much for watching. I appreciate it like always. If you haven't done so already, make sure you hit that sub, hit that like button. Leave me a comment on what you're thinking on the series so far. And yeah, make sure you guys have a good afternoon, morning, day whenever you're watching this. And like always, I appreciate it so much. Thanks for stopping by and hanging out with me on this fine day. Take care, guys, and I'll see you on the next episode.